up guys, it's Intrinsic Off-Road. We got a 2006 Jeep Wrangler Unlimited here. So this is Project Long Junk on Instagram. If you guys want to check it out, owned by Danny Spittery. He works at Southern Off-Road. You guys check him out. It's a really awesome build. We're gonna do a walk around, show you the ins and outs. He just finished up his one-time build. So yeah, we're gonna check it out.
What's up guys, my name's Danny. Here with Project Long Junk, as Sam mentioned. This project's been a long time coming. I bought it completely stock. I think I had some JK wheels on it back in 2015. It's kind of grown, forced to be grown to what it is today, 1 tons. Just because of stuff breaking, really. Got it flipped back in 16. That's when it went long arm on stock axles, 37s. I obviously couldn't wheel it too hard on 37s and stock axles, so after I broke the rear axle, kind of forced my hand. So we went ahead and did 1 tons on it so that we could finally take it out and beat on it. So yeah, I guess we can kind of show you guys. There's obviously not much stock left on this thing. Kind of give you a walk around and tell you what all we got done to it. So we'll start in the front end here. The axles are both out of a 07 F250. You got a Dana 60 front, and then you got a Sterling 10.5 rear. All this axle is all done up by Artec. As you can see, none of it's been painted yet. It's all rusty, nasty. Been having too much fun wheeling it. Haven't cared to paint it, man. Just been beating up on it. Obviously, cosmetics down here are not of the importance to me right now. We got some Moto-Built diff covers that are about to go on. Obviously, you can see it kind of leaking, and we've bashed it several times on rocks already. Diffs are very low hanging, even for 40s, they hang pretty low. So yeah, all Artec trusses, custom steering, built by myself and Southern Off-Road. We've already put a smiley face in it at Chocoloco, hitting it against some rocks. So we're gonna try, it's 1.5 inch steel right now. We're gonna try doing 1.5 inch steel with an aluminum insert, and it's supposed to give it more deflection to see. Hopefully next time it won't bend and just deflect backwards. We got the Artec steering pieces over here on the end. They give you the clearance away from the track bar, add some beefiness to the knuckles. So far I've had no failures in the front end. We got everything re-geared to 538s with a welded front end and worn lockout hubs. Has been highly annoying so far to have to lock in, lock out on the front, but money constraints make it that way sometimes. So if we move up there from the axle, this thing is front to back JCR armor. We got the JCR front bumper, we got the JCR fenders, and then we got the Warren, obviously the best in the business, the Warren winch on there, the Xeon 10S with synthetic and a factor 55 to make it a whole closed loop system. Obviously safety is a concern when winching, so the closed loop and the synthetic make it real nice. We got our boys at High Beam Off-Road, Matt over there. He's got us supply with some headlights here and rock lights, which obviously you can't see on here during the day. Great headlight, super bright, been really happy with it. Right now we got Rough Country 12 inch and 20 inch light bar on the hood, both center mount. We had some up the side, had a 50 inch. There's really more light than needed, so switched it up, went a little more minimalistic. Gonna be switching to rigid here in the next week or so. Try to put more output out, and you know, this Jeep's all, for the most part, all American made parts, and we wanted to stick with high quality stuff, so wanted to stick with rigid lights and make it all nice. I got your point spider hood louver, love it. Added it more for looks as opposed to heat, but obviously it dissipates the heat a little better, so those days where you're sitting in hot Alabama trails, it's real nice. Does suck when it rains, shoots water all over the windshield. But we move on from there. Last I got the JCR fenders. It's all steel armor. We've already put a real bad beating on it, and these are the Highline fenders, so the hood's been cut down about 4 inches. Got that thin line hood on there. Got the JCR inners. As far as the suspension, it's mostly rock crawler. It's their 5.5 flex long arm stretch kit, so the rear stretched about 4 inches. On the shocks, we're running the Fox 2.0s. As you can see, the shock was cut out, and it went to 15 inch travel shocks all the way around. This thing will pull about 50 inches of tire up on a forklift before lifting rear tire, so the flex is it's incredible. Much more we'd be losing the springs on the trail. Kind of lucky right now we don't lose it. So running 40-inch Toyos. This thing has been on 35-inch Toyos, 37-inch Toyos, and now we're up to the 40. It's a C load range tire. So when we get out on the trails, we usually air down to about 7.5. Super gummy on the trails. I mean, it'll wrap around rocks, and they seem to be holding up great. They would give me to and from the trails, kind of unlike a lot of other rigs. This thing gets daily driven, and yeah, we got to make it to and from the trails safely. So it'll do 85 on the highway. We'll get on the trails and kill it. Got fuel lands and wheels. You can see I went wheeling this last weekend, so the wheels are nasty. Yeah, your fuel lands and beadlocks are custom done in illusion purple. Real happy with how they turned out. Alloy wheel repair is the one responsible for all the powder coating on this vehicle, and it's just held up very well. So as we move a little further back, got the JCR Crusader sliders. Real nice, go all the way back to the frame. They've been heftily abused on the trails. This last 6 weeks, this thing's been wheeled every single weekend, sometimes twice a weekend. The amount of trees, rocks that slid off is crazy, and it's held up to every bit of it. I mentioned the long arm kit. You can see it's got the rock crawler, long arms, and the stretch. Very, very long rear arms. The rear is triangulated 4 links, so there's actually no track bar in the rear. Rides great on the highway. Like I said, do 85. At this point, everything's super scratched up, dirty. Sorry I didn't clean it up for you guys, but you know, had to show it off like it gets abused. It's got Adams front and rear drive shafts. It's got a 1310 front, but you can't go any bigger with that transfer case. And then it's got a 1350 rear shaft. Adams drive shaft's the best in the business. Can't really get better than them. Never failed me yet. So we move on to the rear. On the rear, like I said, it's all stretched. The gas tank's been moved back about 6 inches back across member. Spring perch has obviously been moved. And then we have outboarded rear shocks. Still 15-inch travel in the rear. Fox 2.0s. Since I switched from the Bilstein to the Fox, Jeep rides a little better. I think the stiffness definitely gives a more comfortable ride. Obviously, like I said, JCR front to rear, so got the JCR corners, JCR fender flares. In the rear, there's not too much going on. We got a recently dented tailgate. That's from hitting some trees up at Chocoloco. Got between a rock and a hard place. The hard place obviously being a tree. And a tree came out the victor in that one. So might replace it, might ride it out for the season. Still shut, so good to go for now. I forget the brand on the taillights. Real cool though, they light up in a halo. They do the job. As you can tell, no backup lights on the Jeep at the time, so working out with Rigid right now to try to do some flush mount SR SQ series in the back and diffused, and that should give me all the light I need to back up. As far as trail stuff, obviously you can see my super well secured tank in here. We got a 20-pound tank for CO2. Allows me to re-air up from 5 pounds to 30 pounds, less than 5 minutes for all 4 tires. I run all Warren recovery gear, all ARB air supplies for all that stuff. Obviously wanted all nice stuff that none of it will fail me in the field, so that's what I'm running. It does great. We got Corbeau seats on the inside. We normally run an iPad on the inside to keep navigation while we're going to some of these trails, and we got a Bad Elf Pro for the GoPro, or for the GPS tracking. So we got a retrofitted rough country switch pod in there. So that's actually made for the JK, and we've retrofitted it to the LJ or TJ. Works great. It's their MLS6 system. It's been a great switching system, and has never failed me yet, and makes everything real easy. I think that's about it. Yeah, hope you guys enjoyed it. It's hopefully we get some videos for you guys of getting out there and beating it up on the trails. Right here, so